And now for story time with Paul Walken. Where he's walking, I don't know.
Hello and welcome back. Welcome back for another exciting journey, another fun story. We're gonna do something a little longer. We've been doing the poems, we've been doing the short stories. Today we're gonna do this little ditty called "The Lord of the Rings" by J.R.R. Tolkien. It's a fantastic book. It's a bit long. It might take us a day or two, but we're not gonna move until it's all done. It's so good. It's worth reading. So let's go ahead and get started. Chapter 1, A Long-Expected Party. When Mr. Bilbo Baggins of Bag End announced that he would shortly be celebrating his 11th birthday with a party of special magnificence, there was much talk and excitement in Hobbiton. They call it that because they're hobbits. They're like dwarves, maybe midgets, I don't know, but they live there, and the town's named after them. Bilbo Baggins, that's a name, huh? That's if your mother named you that, you'd never forgive her. Anyways, Bilbo was very rich and very peculiar. Chapter 4, A Shortcut to Mushrooms. I was alive during the 60s. I've seen lots of shortcuts to mushrooms. They never end well. That's neither here nor there. In the morning, Frodo woke refreshed. I'll bet he did. He was lying in a boa made by a living tree with branches laced and drooping to the ground. So I had to trust to Aragorn, but I hope to draw some of them off and yet reach Rivendell ahead of you and send out for help. I always wanted to go to Rivendell. I feel like the food would be good. Maybe they eat, squirrels and fresh vegetables. I don't know. I mean, it's just a thought, but I bet they eat better than the dwarves. The dwarves, they don't seem healthy. Anyways, 4 riders did indeed follow me, but they turned back after a while and made for the ford. Not a Ford truck, you understand. It's an area where they'd cross. That helped a little, for there were only 5, not 9. In a soft voice, hardly to be heard amid the rustle of the leaves, above them he began, and now we're going to sing the Elven song. We're not going to sing the Elven song. What we're going to do is read the Elven song. It's like a poem. An elven maid there was of old, a shining star by day. Her mantle white was hemmed with gold, her shoes of silver gray. This reminds me of another famous poem, an elven poem, if you will, by Shel Silverstein. It's called The Giving Tree. You may have heard of it. I've heard of it many times. A star was bound upon her brows, a light was on her hair, a sun upon the golden boughs of the giving tree in Lorien the fair. One who passed in came at length out of the echoing tunnel behind them on their backs. Then the troop started off. Hour after hour they ran. They paused now and again, only to sling the hobbits to fresh carriers. You ever carried a hobbit? It's like a sack of potatoes. They couldn't keep up. Alive without breath, as cold as death, never thirsting, ever drinking, descended in direct lineage, father to father, from Isildur, Elendil's son himself, and the sword that he bears was Elendil's sword. A murmur of astonishment ran through all the ring of men. They were surprised. They weren't expecting it. They just thought he was a bum. Some cried aloud, "The sword of Elendil, oh my gosh! What do you mean it's not a real place? I've been there. I've been to Minas Tirith. Don't tell me what I don't know. I was shooting a commercial. It was for a whisker softener. You need whisker. They've got to be soft before you trim them." No, it was a pub. I didn't say a bar. I said a pub. They had the salted pork, like the dwarves like, and they had chitlings, and they had the tempura shrimps. Don't tell me what I know. Betrayed us to orcs many times since we met him has prevailed. Not long ago, it was the lord of the city that gave this errand to him. "Stir not the bitterness in the cup that I mix for myself," said Denethor. I guess he maybe was drinking like a brandy Alexander or something unpleasant, because the cup was bitter. He definitely wasn't drinking some fresh squeezed lemonade, which if you make it right, maybe a little sour. It'll never be bitter though. That's what I would drink. Or maybe you could put strawberries and make a pink lemonade. If you get one at a restaurant, they might try to use Minute Maid. Tell them I don't put up with that. That's not what you use. The lemons, you fresh squeeze them with cane sugar or maybe even simple syrup. I'm getting to it. Have I not tasted it? And now going to be enough for two. Know how? Don't orcs eat and don't they drink, or do they just live on foul air and poison? Well, you know, the orcs, they may smell like foul air and poison, trust me, but orc food is actually quite good. I've eaten it all over Middle-earth, even at Isengard when they were there. And there's a lot of roasted game, roasted pigs, some nice birds even. They drink milk, not cow milk, they drink rat milk. Don't ask me how they get it. But it's good, you know, they'll add a little sugar, little simple syrup like we talked about before, and it's quite sweet. They don't eat cereal, and I don't understand the point of having milk without cereal, but they like the rat's milk, and it's a fun group of people. Don't let them get angry. Don't let them, they start getting drunk. They try to eat each other, and that's fine. I didn't try that personally, but, you know. No, they eat and drink, Sam. The shadow that bred them can only mock. Mr. Butterbur had, at any rate, not changed his manner of talking. I just got to say, what kind of name is Butterbur? It's like you want your kid to be fat. I want my kid to be a big old porker. I'm going to name him Butterbur, and that's what the kids can tell him. Say, roll, little Butterbur, roll. It's very sad to bully a little fat kid, but with a name like Butterbur, it's hard not to. I remember I once knew a boy named Bagelface, and well, let's just say he got his fair share of abuse from me and the guys. It was served on a long bare table that had not been scrubbed for weeks. It sounds like the last time I went to Kansas, a place called Bobby's Barbecue. It hadn't been clean. It was damp and cheerless. Everyone was rude. Then I found out it wasn't a barbecue restaurant. I had stumbled onto a pig farm. It didn't end well. The food deserved no better setting. The traveler's spring surpassed his wildest hopes. His trees began to sprout and grow as if it was time in a hurry. I've been living a lie. I was Bagelface. It was me. Butterbur, I'm sorry. More. And he went on, and there was yellow light and fire within, and the evening meal was ready. And he was expected, and Rose drew him in and set him in a chair and put little Eleanor upon his lap. He drew a deep breath. He said, well, I'm back. Children, what a journey. What a journey. It's been great. Okay, now the appendices. We're not going to do how they're going to know. We're not reading the appendices, children. Well, until another day, thank you so much.